Hello students, welcome to online video lecturing classes. So in the last video, that is in the last lecture, we have discussed about the types of the controllers. That is, what do you mean by P controller, what do you mean by D controller, and what do you mean by I controller. That is proportional and integral and derivative controllers. And we have seen the responses of those controllers for the different types of inputs, and some of the applications we have studied, and their characteristics also we have studied. So, and while studying, we came to know that all the three types of controllers are having some of the disadvantages. Because of that, we cannot use alone each controller for the particular application. So to overcome that, we can go to the composite controllers, that is combination of any of the controllers. Okay, so let us begin with the composite controllers. As I mentioned earlier, so due to offset error, proportional mode is not used alone, because in case of derivative controller, that is proportional derivative controller, there is an offset error. So because of that, we cannot use that controller alone. So similarly, in case of integral, we cannot use alone, because individually they will give you some error. So to overcome that kind of errors or its disadvantages, we can use the combined mode of controllers. So thus, to take the advantage of various modes together, the composite controllers can be classified as proportional plus integral mode. We can call it as PI controller, and proportional plus derivative PD controller, and the last one is proportional plus integral plus derivative, that is PID controller. So to begin with the first one, that is proportional plus integral controller. So this is a controller, it is a combination of proportional mode and integral mode. So in this controller, it produces an output signal consisting of two terms, that is one proportional to error signal and other proportional to integral of the error signal. Because in case of, we have seen in case of proportional, it is directly proportional to the error signal, but in case of integral, it is also directly proportional but integral of the error signal. So by combining these two, we can take the controller as proportional integral controller, that is PI controller. So mathematically we can express the controller, that is P of t will be the output, and here we have this portion is for the proportional controller and this portion is for the integral controller. So here the P of 0, that is in integral portion, this P of 0 is the initial value of the output at t equal to 0. When you take the Laplace transform of this equation, it will become P of s is equal to Kp plus Kp into Ki divided by s into E of s. So I have taken this E of t, and E of t is common in both the terms, so I have taken it as common, and Kp is a constant, so for that the Laplace transform will be Kp. Then here this divided by s is there, this because of the integral sign in this integral mode portion. So the Laplace transform of any function with integral sign will be 1 by s into that function. So further we can take Kp is common in both the terms, so we can take Kp as common term, so we will get P of s equal to Kp into 1 plus Ki by s into E of s. And this is the basic block diagram of the proportional plus integral controller. Okay, so practically this Ki, that is integral constant, is indicated in terms of integral time, that is Ti. So where we can take that integrated time as the reciprocal of the integral gain, that is Ti is given by Ti equal to 1 by Ki, and the both, that is Kp and Ti, that is Kp is nothing but proportional gain and Ti is the integral time, are adjustable here. The Kp is called as reset rate. Therefore the change in Kp adjusts both the proportional as well as integral part of the control action. So that is the one of the advantage of using this kind of the controllers. So the most important advantage of this controller is that one-to-one correspondence of proportional mode is available, while offset gets eliminated due to integral mode. The integral part of such a composite control provides a reset of zero error output after the load change occurs. If you consider the load change occurring at t equal to t1, and due to which the error varies You can see the difference in this figure. If the at t equal to t1, due to which the error varies, at t equal to t1 the error is rising here. Okay, shown in figure. The controller output changes suddenly by an amount of Vp. So this is the error value here at t equal to t1, the error value due to proportional action. After that, the controller output changes linearly with respect to the time at a rate of kp by ti. So here you can see that after t equal to t1 till t2 it is varying linearly. The reset rate is here, it is defined as reciprocal of integral time. The response of this kind of things is shown in this figure. Okay, so if you vary the time, what will be the error? According to that error, what will be the output of the system? In the reverse action, the proportional part is the image of the error. The sum of proportional plus integral action finally leaves the errors to 0. That thing you can see from this figure, that is second one. So here the error is the image of the proportional action. You can see this portion, this is the error portion and this is the proportional action. So after some time the error is going to be 0 here. Now if you consider some of the characteristics of the proportional integral controller, when the error is 0, the controller output is fixed at the value that integral mode had when the error went to 0. This is nothing but p of 0. Okay, as discussed in the previous slide, that p of 0 is initial value of the output when time t equal to 0. When the error is not 0, proportional mode adds the correction while the integral term starts increasing or decreasing from its initial value. It is depending upon the reverse or direct action. Okay. Then the next one is, it improves the steady state accuracy because it is time dependent action. So as at different times, if there is any changes in the things, that time the error will change. Depending upon that, controlling actions will get activate. Also it increases rise time to response, so the response will become slow. Then it decreases the bandwidth of the system and also the filters out the high frequency noise, and it makes a response for more oscillatory function. Then if you take some of the applications, these kind of, that is the P composite proportional plus integral mode controllers completely removes the offset problems from the proportional mode, as you can see from these two graphs. Okay. So such mode can be used in the systems with frequent or large load changes, but the process must have relatively slow changes in the load to prevent the oscillations. The next one is proportional plus derivative, that is PD controller. So PD controller is a combination of proportional mode plus derivative mode. So basically this controller, which produces output signal consisting of two terms, that is, one is proportional to error signal and the other is proportional to derivative of the error signal. As you can see the mathematical equation here, P of t is the output again. So this is the proportional portion and this is the derivative portion. So here error is directly proportional to the output signal, that is, output is directly proportional to the error signal, and here the output is proportional to derivative of the error signal. So this series combination of proportional and derivative control modes gives the proportional plus derivative control modes. The mathematical expression, as I have explained earlier, it contains two parts, that is, one is proportional and other is derivative. When you take the Laplace transformation of this equation, it will become P of s equal to Kp plus Kp into Kd into s into E of s. So here the block diagram for these kind of controllers is shown in figure here. So this is the controlling unit, that is plant, we can call it as a plant. And here the Kd is called as the derivative term, and both the Kp and Kd are adjustable. The derivative time Kd is the time interval by which the rate action advances the effect of the control action. So the behavior of the such PD control to a ramp type of input is displayed here. So here the ramp function of the error occurs at t equal to t1. As you can see, observe the first figure, that is this one. At t equal to t1, the derivative mode causes a step Vd at t1, and the proportional mode causes a rise of Vp equal to Vd at t2. That is, at t equal to t1, this is the derivative portion and this is the proportional portion. This is for the direct action of the PD controller. So as you can see in the next figure, it shows the behavior of the same controller, that is PD controller, for arbitrary load changes for the reverse action. For the reverse action, the controller output is image of the error for the proportional mode, while derivative mode causes sudden increase or decrease in the output corresponding to decrease or increase in the error. Here, if there is any sudden changes in the error, based on that your output is going to change. This mode cannot be eliminate the offset of the proportional mode. So here the offset will occur. So we cannot avoid the offset by taking PD controller as the reference controller. So we can go with the PI controller. So this is one of the disadvantage for these type of the controllers. Now if we go through the some of the characteristic mode of the PD controller. So basically these kind of controllers improves the damping and reduces the overshoot, and it reduces the rising time and makes response fast, and it makes the response stable very fast, and it also improves the bandwidth of the system, but it cannot eliminate offset error. So that is one of the disadvantage, and also it is a characteristic of that PD controller, and it may make the noise dominant at higher frequencies, and it is not very effective for lightly damped systems, and it may require a relatively large capacitor while circuit implementation. So therefore the overall it improves the transient behavior of the system. In spite of the above characteristics, the PD controller has disadvantages that it amplifies the noise signals and may cause saturation effect in the actuator. And some of the applications, it cannot eliminate offset error as we have discussed earlier in the proportional portion, but it can be used to handle fast process load changes if offset error is tolerable. Wherever you can avoid or you can ignore the offset error, in that cases you can use this kind of the controller, and also it is used in many industrial process control system. Then moving further, the last one is composite controllers, that is proportional plus integral plus derivative controller. So it is a combination of proportional mode plus integral mode plus derivative mode. So here, so this PID controller, it is consisting of three terms. That is, first one is proportional to error signal, and other proportional to integral of the error signal, and the third proportional to derivative of the error signal. So mathematically it can be expressed as P of t is the output, this is the proportional part, this is the integral part, and this is the last one is the derivative part. So here if you take the Laplace transform of the mathematical equation, so in this equation this P of 0 is the initial value of the output. If you take the Laplace transform of this equation, you get P of s equal to Kp plus Kp into Ki divided by s plus Kp into Kd into s into E of s. So this is the proportional part, this is the integral, and this is the derivative. So if you simplify further, simplifying, you will get this equation, and this is the basic block diagram for the PID controller. So, and this mode has one of the advantage of all the modes, because the integral mode eliminates the offset error of the proportional mode, and the response is also very fast due to derivative mode. The sudden response is produced due to derivative mode, and thus it can be used for any other condition. So with the PID control action, so this is the response of the PID controller. So with this action there is no offset, as you can see in the figure, there is no offset, no oscillation with the least settling time. So there is improvement in both transient as well as steady state response. So this figure shows the response of the PID controller for a particular error signal assuming direct action. So here This is for the proportional action, this is for the integral action, and this is for the derivative action. As you can observe here, the error, that is change in error, will be different for the different types of the controllers, but when you use the combined one, the error will decrease here. Then if you use only the PD controller, that is a proportional and a derivative controller, it improves the transient response. If you use PI controller, it will improve the steady state response. If you use the combination, that time it will improve the transient as well as steady state response of the system. Then coming to the last part, that is response of various controllers unit to unit load change. So here, if the unit step load change is occurring, that time the response of the proportional part is this one, that is proportional controller. The first one is without controller, this is with proportional, and this is with PD, and this is with PI, and this portion is for the PID controller. So here the proportional and PD control produce the offset error, so it requires significant time to attain the steady state. Therefore, the PI controller eliminates the offset but expense of higher maximum overshoot quickly with least oscillations and smallest maximum overshoot, but offset is significant in case of PD controller. So with the PID control, there is no offset and system achieves the steady state with less settling time. So therefore, the PID is the ultimate process for the composite controller. So if you use the PID controller, it will overcome the overshoot error which you are getting in the proportional controller, and it will improve the system behavior for the transient as well as steady state inputs. So with this we'll end the first module. So in the first module we have studied about the introduction to the control systems, and we have discussed what is the difference between a system and a control system, then types of the control system, and open loop control system, closed loop control systems, and their advantages and disadvantages and their real-time applications with some examples. Then we have seen about the requirements of the ideal controllers, and discussed about the regulators, and we have discussed about the comparison or the difference between open loop and closed loop system, and we have seen about the types of the controllers, that is PID, and combination, that is composite controllers, and their behaviors. Okay, so with this we'll end the first module. Thank you.